Don't mind that. Sticking this thing to the mirror. Um, Apparently YouTube is on easy mode now. Like, people are getting views left and right, and not that I'm worried about the views at all, but I want to give it a try because I feel like I have something to offer to this world, and and yes, I have something to offer to this world just by speaking. Like, I've done YouTube in the past, and it hasn't gotten me very far in terms of like subs and views and all that good stuff. But honestly, like the style of content I want to make is just real and genuine, which is just like this candid stuff where I place the phone down somewhere and then go about my daily routine. Like, I don't care about all that extra editing and the flashy stuff. Like, I just want to be real with a bunch of people that vibe with me. You know what I mean? Like, show you my daily routine. Not that you care, but like, people care about real problems. And I have a lot of real problems that I'm trying to deal with in my life. So, if you want to tune in for that, stick around. Um, but yeah, basically just going through my morning routine, which includes icing my face. I'm gonna dry my face here actually. Give me 1 second. Alright. I basically just dry my face with a blow dryer because I don't like to use towels because towels contain bacteria. And you don't want to be putting bacteria all over your face. I also take ashwagandha supplement and magnesium in the morning, as well as put some of this face balm on my face. Not too much, because then you have entire caked on layer of gross crap. Don't do that. My routine is not entirely optimized yet. Like, I just take this stuff because I know I should. And I don't necessarily know what it does. But I do know what ashwagandha does. I don't do anything for my hair. My hair is just naturally like this. A lot of people say they're jealous of me because of that. And they can remain jealous, that's fine. But basically, I just want to talk about like real stuff because people care about real stuff, and I also care about real stuff. And one of those things is the fact that I hate working, dude. Like, the system is built to use you, which absolutely sucks. I hate feeling like I'm just this like cog in their greater plan for the future. Like, I don't actually matter. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just a worker ant, and I'm nothing more to these people that I'm employed to. Like, I could be fired or let go of, and they could easily replace me tomorrow. Like, I could die, and they'd be like, Marley, he called in sick, dude. Okay, find somebody to replace him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't actually mean anything to these people that I am employed to. Like, they might for a second be like, oh, that sucks. But then, back into work mode, hey, we need a replacement for this guy. Find somebody to replace him. I don't feel very important in that grand sense. It's like I know I have so much more inside of me to offer than bussing tables. I bus tables at a restaurant, and dude, it's hard work. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard work. And it kind of sucks. I've been doing it for the past like 3 years. And I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore because I've hit a point where I'm just done. Like, I'm done working. I'm done cleaning the scraps for the rich people. It's fine dining also. It's not some like rinky dink shop. But that's not like it matters. I'm done feeling like a slave, basically. Because I feel like a slave. That's what it feels like. As an employee, you don't get autonomy over your own time. You don't get it. Like, somebody else tells you when to come into work, when to do X, when to do Z, and Y, and you essentially don't get to call the shots in your own life because there's always going to be somebody that tells you, hey, come back, we need you right now. And it feels like I'm being dragged around a lot of times in my schedule too, because on Christmas Eve, they changed my schedule where I looked for like the entire week because they said, hey, we're not actually done with the schedule, so whatever you see there is not finished. And I was like, damn, okay. So I kept checking. I was off Christmas Eve. So on the day of Christmas Eve, I was like, damn, I'm good. Okay. But then I get a text from my boy. He's like, hey, where you at? I'm like, what do you mean? Don't tell me I'm working. They changed my schedule on Christmas Eve. And that had me fuming, man, because I was like, hold on. How are you gonna, as an employer, how are you going to change somebody's schedule and then not even give them the time of day to say, hey, we actually like change your schedule. We need you to come in now. There's none of that. It's just, okay, we change your schedule and we're not even going to bother to tell you. We're just going to expect you to come in and know that we change your schedule. I'm like, bruh, come on, man. At least let me know. It's like they don't even really care. That's what it feels like, man. They don't even really care to tell me what happens and when they expect me to come in when said schedule is changed. I'm like, okay, then I'm really not a valued person in this system here, am I? So if that's the case, I want out. Please, I want out because I'm done working my ass off just to freaking like still kind of live from paycheck to paycheck. The thing is, I want financial autonomy. Oh, if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm like rubbing this tattoo. It's pretty fresh. I'll make a video on this, but this whole thing is new. And I really need to take care of it. Otherwise, especially right afterwards. Otherwise, it goes bad. Fades faster. But basically, I want financial autonomy. Like, I want to be able to do whatever I want with my money whenever I want. I want to go on trips. I want to take people places, and I want to buy things that I wouldn't normally be able to buy when I have only like 5 grand in the bank. And this isn't from a monetary like I need money, I want this and that. It's more like I don't want to struggle. Like I want to be able to go on trips without having to recover. I know you know that feeling. If you work, I freaking hate that, dude. I want to just go on trips, not like lavish trips, but just to go visit people, and not have to come back and grind just to not struggle, or just to not like have to feel like I need to not be almost broke. Essentially, I want financial freedom because I'm in the grasp of some employer right now that does not have the best interest for me. And not to say that they don't have the best interest, it's just a part of the system. Like, that's the way it works. If you're employed by somebody, you're most likely gonna be yanked around regardless. It's just it's just a part of the whole process, man. If you're employed by somewhere, you probably don't want to be there. You probably hate your job. But reality of my situation is that I'm in a pretty good spot. I only have to work 4 days a week. The job itself is just highly intense. It's very intense, and then there's also a social aspect where you have to talk to people. A lot of times at the tables, because like I said, I bus tables. At the tables, people will make stupid jokes. So stupid, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to respond to them half the time. Where it's like, oh, did you enjoy everything? Or I don't even ask, dude. They just be like, I really love my food, ha ha ha, and the plate is empty. Like, that's not funny, bro. Do not even. Oh, oh, was the service as bad as the food? I hope so. Okay. Enough of that. But the social aspect is not with the guests, it's with the people in the back. The people I work with. And we're gonna go into depth in a second, but let me clean up here. So basically that goes into the culture, the restaurant culture essentially. And it's very toxic. People might disagree with me for like talking about this, but I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway. It's very toxic where me and a few coworkers are some of the few that actually understand that tip is not. Damn. Tip is not mandatory, right? You are not entitled to being tipped, period. So a lot of people, when they don't get tipped, the servers, when they don't get tipped, they throw a fit, like a raging toddler that doesn't get to have a snack. Like, it's ridiculous sometimes, but I can tell it sucks, but there's very little you can do about it. You actually can't do anything about it. So why are we complaining now? Like, You can't control the outcome of how much you get from them. What you can control, I'm gonna put this down for a second. What you can control is the service you give them. If the service you give them is good, then fuck it. Like you did as much as you can. Now just please stop. That is the main part that really gets me, is that the complaining in the restaurant I work in is horrendous, bro. It's horrendous. And aside from that, damn, I don't know. Aside from that, everything would be fine. Like, money is okay, right? Money is okay. Um, the workers on their own are actually not bad. If we took away the aspect of them getting money, and if it was an hourly wage per employee, like bussers got a certain amount, food runners got a certain amount, and servers got a certain amount, they would have no reason to complain, and they'd actually be decent human beings. Like, they're decent human beings on the inside, but on the outside, when they don't have something their way, it gets ugly. It gets real ugly. And the part with that, I guess I'm just tired of that, and I don't want to deal with it anymore. So that is one aspect. The, I'd say, physical aspect is difficult. Physical aspect is difficult. But then, because I'm like lifting these heavy freaking trays, where you have these trays that are like hand trays, except they're giant. They're like the size of this, like a third of this table here. A third of this whole table is the size of a tray. You put a jack stand under the tray, which is basically like a wooden structure to hold it, and the jack stand is able to close. So when you pick up the tray, you can pick up the jack stand as well and take it wherever you need. But these giant trays, right? We put plates and food on top of them, where whenever the guest is finished with their food, and sometimes we have these like massive parties, or we just have a backup of dishes on top of the trays, and them trays be getting up to like I don't know, like 50 to 80. The really big ones are like 100 pounds. Those are really freaking heavy, and I've been doing this for 3 years, so like my body is a little bit more than done with it. That is one aspect. The other aspect is the fact that the social aspect. And it also plays, if you're a spiritual person, it plays into the spiritual side. I think it plays into the spiritual side regardless. A lot of people are just unaware of it. Um, a lot of the bussers I work with are unaware of it. And that's nothing against them. I mean, it's better if they don't feel the effects of working in a toxic environment. But those are the two aspects. The social, or the three, I guess. Social and spiritual are kind of the same. But I honestly just don't want to work a conventional job anymore. I want to be self-employed. I've been wanting to be self-employed for the last, since I graduated high school. I have not wanted to work anything. I haven't wanted to work for anybody, because I feel like the best the best use of your time is when you have autonomy over yourself. If you don't have autonomy over yourself, You are owned by somebody else. Somebody else owns you. You do not get to say what you want to do. Somebody else tells you what they want you to do. And that sucks. I hate that. I hate the fact that somebody else tells me what I need to do. Somebody else tells me when to show up, what to do, how to do it. And it gets tiring. It gets real tiring, man. And it's time to change that. I have put certain routines in place in order to build things on the side. Like, I continuously do things to pursue self-employment. That's a whole nother video, but this is basically just a raw, unfiltered talk. If you like this at all, feel free to subscribe, follow for the journey. I'm gonna be posting daily, just whatever I'm thinking at the moment, because I think a lot of things, but I don't tend to talk about them. So this is almost like a form of therapy for me, where I'm just speaking my thoughts, speaking my mind, so that way it's a little bit more clear and decisive instead of thoughts swirling around my brain. And I like the way it feels. I think there was a study done where chemically it does release like a certain hormone. I don't know if it was epinephrine or I don't know. But yeah, stick around, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.